Yes got the entire crowd to say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. No, you did not take my quote and my Bible's quote for no cults. Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So today we have MLM Horror Stories. I love doing these videos for you guys every single Friday. I think we've been doing them for almost going on 1 year completely. I'm really happy to give a platform to those who are too scared to come out publicly about their stories. So today's going to be a good one. I have my water today. Make sure to drink your water, stay hydrated. I don't have my tea or my coffee because it's already 5 o'clock and it's too late to be drinking that. So let's get into today's video. Now, the first one, I've never heard of this MLM before. Never, ever, ever. So it says Limu, L-I-M-U, Limu scam. I'll never join an MLM again. So it says, hi, I want to remain anonymous. I've watched your videos and now have the courage to speak out. Also, hearing these other people's horrible stories makes me want to share mine also. I was 21 and just had my son. He was about 3 months old and living in my ex's parents' house with his parents and 2 other siblings. It was a crowded home. Not to mention living with an emotionally and mentally abusive ex, I was very vulnerable. Of course, how all these start is a mutual friend of mine on Facebook who was also a mom, but a teenage mom, sent me a hey girl message. Speaking of Limu, that's just how I'm gonna pronounce it. I know it's wrong, but speaking of Limu and how I can earn money selling it, asking me to come to her house for a Limu party and get more info. I said yes and went to her party. She was such a nice person. I believe she was genuine about her struggle. Her and her husband are now bringing in over $2,000 a month and got a brand new BMW from the company with their success. I was drawn in and seriously thought I could make this work. All I had to do was get 3 people to sign up underneath me before I started making profit. I'm an easy to talk to outgoing person and was convinced this would be a piece of cake. I listened into 2 weekly calls every week with the uppers, so the uplines, and was dedicated. I actually really love the products. Their products are for energy, losing weight, and overall health. I was a dancer for half my life and have really bad joint pains, and the Limu drink helped a lot with my pain. I messaged everyone on my friends list, started making posts almost every day, like I was already making an income, though I wasn't. Everyone called me crazy and said it was a pyramid scheme. I didn't even know what the hell that was. Also, had to buy the starter pack that was $700. I didn't have that at all. I somehow convinced my ex that I would get it back and I'm working really hard for it. He gave me the money, followed by threats and that I was stupid. I continued to work for months and months, so much time wasted, and even when I left my ex for good, his mom said she was the mom of my child, that I was on the phone all the time and didn't take care of my son, which was bull. I took care of my son. Anyways, I held my own meetings or parties and the person who signed me up only went to 3. I think she gave up on me making her money. I expressed my concern with my upline and they convinced me to still try and that we will set up phone calls with people of interest and other higher ups to help you. Well, that didn't work. One person, I can't remember his name, they sent to call me and train me. And as I'm taking notes, he's talking to me saying, I love your voice. It's so mothering and soothing. Ew, that's creepy. I said, thanks. He then said, I need your help. It's been so long. Huh? What's been so long, sir? I didn't understand what he was saying. He then started breathing. He then started breathing heavy and moaning and trying to convince me to have phone sex with him. I hung up so quickly and was about to puke. I started tearing up out of frustration. I didn't tell anyone and I should have, but I was afraid they wouldn't believe me or get mad at me. That opened my eyes a little and I was like, WTF. I also went to a party a couple months later where someone of a very high status would be at this party to share his story, which we've all heard before. I was like, this is the last push I need. Plus, they had food and drinks I hadn't drank in over a year and my ex was watching my son, so F that. The person that was late and I asked the host if I could go up and share my story with Limu while we wait, and she said, no offense, sweetie, but some of these people drove a long way to see him and only want to hear his story. I looked confused, like, why does it matter if we all have great stories with Limu. I didn't understand, so I left the party and gave up. I got a crap ton of "I told you so" from my ex, and that I was stupid for even trying it, and I wouldn't amount to anything. What made it worse is the person who signed me up and everyone I thought I made a friendship with ignored me when I quit. I could have been dead and no one would have cared. Worst 9 months of my life. If y'all want to join an MLM, please don't. If somebody seems too good to be true, it probably is. So that's a really sad story. Like, even if I go back to the beginning where she said that she had this confuses me. She said, all I had to do was sign 3 people up and I could start making profits. This really makes me want to look into this MLM, because then that means that MLM is very recruitment based. If you must sign up 3 people in order to even start making a profit, I feel like that's something that is grounds to report to the FTC. Like, the FTC would probably really ream this MLM. Like, you cannot just be all about recruitment. So I'm very curious. I'll probably put a little snippet of me researching this MLM here. Okay, you guys knew this was coming. So I looked into their compensation plan a little bit. It's actually very in-depth. They have a lot of bonus opportunities, but here's the most important thing. In order to hold your rank, you have to enroll as a member, duh. And then you have to establish a monthly personal volume of 100 PV. So clearly you have to purchase 100 PV points or sell that much worth of products that month. So now let's look into what you need to do in order to earn commissions with the company. Okay, so here's where they talk about a thing that they call 3 for free. So I'm not sure if that's what this person was speaking about when they were talking about their story. So if they were, then here it actually states that when you enroll 3 customers and have an active auto ship for yourself, not for your customers, but for yourself, you have an active auto ship and you enroll 3 customers in 1 month period, your next month auto ship will be free. And this can only be for active members. So in that month, you also have to be active, meaning you would have had to buy products worth $100 on that auto ship. So clearly that shows that you have to spend a lot of money in order to even get here. Then you have to work your tail off to enroll 3 customers in order to get your next auto shipment for free that following month. But this is something I've never seen before. I have never seen any other MLM do something like this where your next month could be free product and stuff like that. So this concept is new to me. For fun, I thought I'd stick this in here. So this is actually customer commissions and how you earn commissions. So clearly you earn commissions by enrolling customers, and how to earn that is as an active promoter, enroll new customers with any of their products and you earn commissions on the product purchases. And this is where I want to point in on, or hone in on, is who can earn all active promoters. Now, what does it mean to be an active promoter? An active promoter means that you have purchased, like I said before, the $100 PV on auto ship. So clearly you have to have already bought product that month, or else it shows here that you won't earn commissions, right? Because all active promoters are the ones who can earn commissions on customer enrollments. So if you've ever been in this MLM, let me know if I'm reading this incorrectly, but that's exactly what this says here. And then here in the diagram, you can see the commission payout and all of that good stuff. And I just feel like that's really messed up. If that is what's going on, and you have to sign up 3 people just to make a commission, that's ridiculous. And then also, it is sad that she was going through a hard time, and I feel like people who are in vulnerable positions, especially anyone who is dealing with a mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive ex or anything like that, are really vulnerable to things like this. And it's sad because their vulnerability is used against them. They join this MLM, and then it's like the MLM even kicks them down further. They're already down. People like this are already struggling, right? People who have been in abusive relationships are already struggling, and it's like the MLM just kicks them down even further. I find it just really saddening. Like, this story gave me goosebumps. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry that your ex treated you that way, and that when you left, you got told "I told you so." I want you to know that most people don't make any money. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the system that MLMs have. So please, I really hope to this day that you don't believe that it was your fault or that you won't amount to anything, because it's not true. These MLMs really do get you, and I'm so sorry you ever had to go through that. If anyone has any advice for her, please leave it down below. Oh, I am really happy that you got out though, and it's sad though that no one talked to you after, and that's actually a very common thing. We all lose friends when we leave. I lost a couple. I did get to keep a couple friends, but I did lose a couple, but it shows you which people were true friends and which people were in it for the money or things like that. You can kind of have that sense of, okay, that person didn't actually care about me. They were just in it for profit or whatever. So I would rather have you have no friends if they're fake than to have fake friends. So we're your friends here on my channel. We are all friends here. So let's move on to the next one. And thank you so much for sharing that, because I know that wasn't easy to share at all. And I couldn't imagine, you know, sharing that with anybody. So really thank you for allowing me to use my platform to share that story. So let's move on to the next one. Here's the next one. It says, Deanna, hello. My name's Sabrina and I discovered you on the 5th of August 2020. Girl, you've been here for a long time. While searching for anti-MLM via YouTube. I started watching from your first video and I got hooked. You give out so much information about MLMs, how it's a scam, and your commentary made me laugh when it was supposed to be serious. I know, I'm not supposed to be laughing, but it was hilarious to tell you the truth. I just love how real you are in your videos. I almost got recruited / joined an MLM, Monat, earlier this month, August. Oh wow, so this sent to me in August of 2020. I'm sorry, I'm getting to it now. By a classmate that was looking for a 4th member to add to her team. Prior to that, I had seen Monat circling via Facebook posts and IG stories / posts from women that I knew personally, whether from church or school. What had sparked and intrigued me were these golden words: boss babe, girl boss, financial freedom, free trips, free Cadillac, etc. I mean, who wouldn't want these things? I had seen women moving up from rank to rank via social media very quickly, and I was curious about this MLM. Mind you, these women are doctors, nurses, educators, and honestly any profession that you could think of. There are also some men that have joined in as well. I had attended a Zoom call meeting twice because I was curious. Once you heard you have to recruit 3 other people under you, the pyramid, pay a whopping $199 for a website in order to be a Monat market partner, and purchase products on top of that, I knew something was up. I'm not someone that is comfortable showing my face on social media, mainly due to catfishing. While I was on the second Zoom call meeting, I went over to the chat room and to my surprise, see attachment below. Okay, I'm excited to read that in a little bit. I was on Facebook scrolling and came across a post from a woman that I personally knew. In her post, she said, if you don't join Monat, I feel sorry for you because you are missing out, while supporting her older sister who made the assistant director rank in the company. That post had cringed me and was like, she is Regina George and her minions were right behind supporting her. I had checked the Monat website and OMG, these prices for the skincare and hair care were steep and expensive. There better be coupons for these products. Like, who's gonna keep up with the prices and upkeep every month? I'd rather purchase the dupes in better quality at Walmart, Walgreens, Marshalls, beauty supply stores, and other stores for better prices. Me too, girl. Me too. I then spoke to the classmate about the company, acting like I was all interested. She told me all the products and ingredients are all natural. Monat claims that all their products are natural, but when you actually check the ingredients, you can't even pronounce half of the names listed. You can also find Monat products on Amazon websites as well. Attached are the skincare serum and ingredients, plus Amazon finds below while doing the research. I was listening to one of your videos where you spoke about the income disclosure. I called the lady on Thursday of that same week asking her about the income disclosure, and when I tell you her voice drops and she had to call another person, that is her upline to try and explain the income tax. When I spoke to the other female on the line, this lady then explained to me the whole concept of Monat, of how you get paid every Friday, told me how smart I was when I brought up the income tax. She then too couldn't say a thing. Talk about how a cat got both of their tongues. Thank you for educating about these MLMs and scams. Okay, I have to comment on that because that's the thing. Most MLMs do not teach this. They don't have trainings that say, here's how you do your taxes. Here is how you claim, this MLM on your taxes. They don't have trainings that say, here's our income disclosure. They more so have things very subtle. Like I've actually found on Beachbody's website, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom on one of their tabs, it's going to be in small words, the link to their nearest or previous income disclosure statement. Who's gonna find that unless they're reading every single thing on the website? And who reads everything on every tab of every website of every company? Not me. So they don't have these trainings that say, hey guys, here's the income disclosure. They mostly don't. Now, this past year, with everything that happened with the pandemic, a lot of MLMs got warning letters, and they have had to do trainings on what it means to not make income claims when it comes to having to put a income claim disclosure on every post that you make. But besides that, do those reps actually look at the income disclosure statements? Do they actually even believe the own income disclosure that they're putting on their post? Do they teach that to other people, saying, hey, this income disclosure is a fact. You probably will only make $200 this year unless you recruit, and build a huge team? Do they tell people that? Or do they say you have the potential to do it all? And that's when it becomes shady to me. I think these MLMs need to be held accountable. While yes, a lot of MLM reps should research. Cool, people can make that excuse. But why would reps research if they don't know what they're looking for? So when people all the time want to be like, do more research, some people don't know what to look for. They don't know what an income disclosure statement is, like I didn't. So a lot of the times people will join and they don't know what to research, or before they start doing their research on the MLM, they don't know to Google Monat income disclosure statement. Because why would they know that unless they're being told by the people in the MLM, like, hey, I recommend you check out the income disclosure. I want you to know everything before you get into this. I don't see anybody doing that. I do see Monat reps putting the little like income claim thing, but I've never, ever seen a Monat rep say, and those claims, that it's a fact. It's like, you may not make more than $200 this month or this year, whatever. So I can understand why they would do that. So she did link a couple of things, so let's look at it. First is the chat. So she said she was in Zoom and there was this chat going on, and there was someone that says, that sounds very promising. And then she said, y'all, hi, this is, and I am a 15-year-old. While they were talking, I did some research, and you pay more than you receive. If you are struggling, stick with your paycheck to paycheck. This is a scam. They will rob you of your hard-earned money. The only ones who make money are the top ranks. Save your money. I beg all of you. They're preying on the poor and their own community. I don't know if it's the girl who sent the actual thing. I don't think so. I think that someone else said that, and they said they're 15. Why are they in on this call? And the fact that a 15-year-old did more research than a lot of people would, shout out to that one. And then the Monat thing, she actually showed a couple of products, and she's gonna show them on Amazon. So the first product she showed was the Monat Illuminating Serum. For retail price, it is $95, which I would never ever buy in my life. I may buy like Tatcha, these skin mists and stuff like that on a rare basis, like once a year, but $95 for that, not worth it. And then for VIP price, it's $81. And then she did list the ingredients. I will put a photo up right here. You guys can pause the video and read the ingredients if you want to, because y'all know me, I can't even pronounce a lot of words. So actually, on the topic of ingredients and Monat products, a fellow creator who's also my friend who makes content on MLMs, she actually tested out Monat products herself, skincare and hair care, and she talks about her honest feelings about them, the good and the bad. But with that, she actually goes deep into the ingredient list, and then included with going deep into the ingredient list, she will actually be giving products that she feels is better and more affordable, and really showing you guys dupes, essentially products that can do similar things to Monat but better and more affordable, way more affordable in her opinion. So this video actually goes live on Isabella's channel at 5 p.m. Central Time today. If you guys want to go and check that out when it goes live, I will link it in the description down below. And I do want to emphasize that she's a big advocate for products with good ingredients, products that are safe for the skin, but also products that aren't going to break your bank. So I really think that her video will help showcase that more than I would by reading the ingredient list. So let's get back into the video. Oh, wait. Okay, and then yeah, Monat is on Amazon. That becomes very shady to me because Beachbody's also on Amazon. There are a couple other companies, and when you think about that, you're competing with Amazon. Like, you're competing against so many people to sell a product, to sell the same product. So, but one more thing, I did forget to say that I'm really happy that this person actually never joined, and she did go on Amazon and go on Google and try and find as much research as possible. So kudos to you. So the next one says, hey Deanna, I wanted to message you about my very short experience with an MLM called World Ventures. I had a friend in college that was in my major, tourism management, and he showed me the video video and business model for this travel MLM. At the time, I didn't know what a pyramid scheme was. I knew the type of company it was. My parents were actually in Amway and I had a friend try and get me to join Mary Kay, but I didn't know it was an actual scam. Well, I was interested as well as a few friends of ours. He then asked us to go on a road trip to this event they were having in Dallas. Girl, I live in Texas too. He told me I didn't have to pay for anything, food was included, and to just come by and have fun. So the next weekend, we all drove 6 hours to Dallas. Come to find out, it was their yearly conference. I think it's called View from the Top or whatever. Well, when we got there, he had to literally sneak us in under one ticket he had, as well as his. What? He kept going back outside and getting the next person and the next. It was starting to seem kind of fishy. Lots of us waiting around for people to show up so we could get a hotel, some splitting of meals and things like that. So he essentially lied to us to show us the quote unquote opportunity and said it was a free trip. But I then had to sneak in, eventually pay for our own food, wait for sketchy people to get where we needed to go next, share a hotel room with everyone, and sleep in the same bed with one of my friends that came with us. That wasn't the only thing that made me uncomfortable. He then hit on me at the hotel one night where all of the other people were sleeping. He tried putting his arm around me and kind of asked questions about if we should fool around. I denied him, and then he got all defensive the next day and barely spoke to me. It was so awkward. Well, a couple days after we got back, I still wanted to join the MLM. I was interested in the product at the time and was inspired by the speakers at the conference. I ended up signing up and putting it on my very first credit card I ever had. I went to the one party and completely just gave it up after my sister-in-law told me it was a scam. I looked back at the pictures I took at the conference, and at that time of my life, I just cringed. I was not well emotionally at the time, so anything that sounded positive to me at the moment sounded like a good idea. I just wanted to share my cringe story for you. I love watching your videos and opening my eyes to facts and information behind everything. I'm a woman from the South, so I have had my fair share of women trying to get me to join their MLM, like a lot. I appreciate all you do, and I hope this message was enjoyable for you. No, I think you pointed out a lot of great things. I am sorry the guy hit on you like that while everyone else was sleeping. That's disturbing in itself. But the thing that really got me was you saying that you were kind of struggling, and anything positive you would be happy about. You know, you would kind of go for anything that seemed as if it would be positive in your life, and that's where they get people. So I know in quotations, I didn't actually say this, but you did say you felt like an idiot when you used your credit card. Don't feel that way. Many people use their credit card. I used a credit card to sign up for Beachbody. Then I did pay it like that following month or whatever, but a lot of us use a credit card when we join because they tell you to. And you, if you're struggling and going through a hard time, these MLMs seem to provide so much. And I think it was a very sneaky thing for the guy to do. The fact that he had to sneak you guys into places and things like that, very sneaky, but he wanted you to see the conference. To me, these yearly conferences that MLMs have are really meant to like keep you going. I know for Beachbody, you can't bring anyone that's actually not in the MLM, so it's kind of funny that he brought a lot of other people, but I feel like these events are to keep pushing you, like to keep you going. Because I remember going to Beachbody Summit, and that's kind of how it was. Like, it was motivational, and you got to see the top coaches, and you got to hear them speak and tell you how their life has changed, how they now have $1 million homes, and they have built this dream. And then you start being like, yes, I've got this. I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna kick butt. Like, I can do this. And then it just keeps you going until the next event. So it's very common for that to happen. So don't feel bad in any way that that happened to you. So let me know down below. Anyone else have an experience with this MLM, or have an experience where they were like brought to a conference or anything, and then that's kind of how they join? Because I feel like that is a very smart tactic. I'm not saying that I like the tactic. It was smart on the guy's part. Look, he got people to sign up afterwards because he wanted to show them this conference that he knew would get them to join. So I guess a smart tactic, but really crappy for the people. So she has this next story has a story about 2 different MLMs, Mary Kay and Itworks. So the first one's going to be the Mary Kay story. It says, I had known about Mary Kay as a company since I was a little girl. My mom's hairdresser sold it out of her house every time we went over there to get our hair cut in the 90s. The hairdresser was always so warm and friendly to us. My memories of Mary Kay were fun. My mom let me play with her eyeshadows and lipsticks that she'd purchased. It turns out that my mom is just bad at saying no to people that push stuff on her. I wonder where I got that from. Because she's the nicest lady in the world and just wants to help people. Anyways, as a 27-year-old adult, my friend, let's just call her Jay, asked me and said she had won a free pampering session from an unnamed company after she dropped her info in a bowl. Apparently her name got pulled and she won. This is a very common thing that Mary Kay does. Then it says, turns out everyone's name gets pulled because it's Mary Kay way of finding new recruits. So Jay asked me to go with her to the pamper sesh. I love skincare and self-care, so of course I was in. Our other friend, let's call her A, so we've got A and J, came with us too. Girls' night out. We all rolled together in the consultant's house. There was a light pink Cadillac in the driveway. The house was newly purchased, I could tell by all the moving boxes all over the house, and nothing was hung on the walls, but it was a beautiful home nonetheless. The consultant, let's call her S, invited us in and sat us at her dining room table. She was gorgeous, my age, and seemed very happy to have us. Her table was filled with caboodles of Mary Kay makeup samples and full-size skincare and hand care. She talked us through using the skincare and hand care on ourselves. Wait, I thought we were supposed to be pampered. Maybe what I thought getting pampered is wrong, but I was 99% sure this host should have done it for us. Of course, since we were among friends, we all oohed and awed at each other's immediate results from the skincare. There wasn't actually immediate results, but friends tend to say the product is working on you even if it's not. It's almost like magic, the way they convince you of these things. I'll give it to S. She was an excellent salesperson. We got done with the pamper sesh, and she told us this long story of how she dropped out of one of the most prestigious colleges in our town to join Mary Kay, and how Mary Kay gave her that pink Cadillac in the driveway and bought her the brand new house. She was definitely selling the dream, and at the time, I needed some help financially. She made this opportunity sound too good to be true, yet somehow it was true for her. She was gorgeous, skinny, married with a cute puppy, and had a beautiful home, everything I thought I wanted in my life at the time. Her husband walked in towards the end of her spiel. Looking back on it, his scrub should have told me that his doctor job paid for the house and her business. Anyway, she brought us all into a different room, one after the other, separately to sign us up for the opportunity. J and A both declined, but I ignorantly jumped right in. I did no research and just went for it. S was so excited. I bought the $250 package, which came in 4 days later. I'm gonna pause here. I think it was a good tactic for her to make money, but also shady as hell that she put you guys all in separate rooms, because then no one could convince the other person like, hey, this is a scam, like don't do this. While your friends didn't sign up, y'all didn't get to have that conversation prior to, and then you signed up. So it's a very shady tactic. She then said it came with full-size skincare and different shades of foundation. Basically everything we used at the S's Pamper Sesh I got in my package. She told me to have a party to share my new opportunity with friends and family. My inner circle, as she put it, would support me and give the helpful feedback for when I start reaching out to strangers. The thought of reaching out to strangers made me feel almost sick. At the time, I didn't even know what an MLM company was. I thought Mary Kay was legit and its own business. Anyways, I reached out to all of my friends and family, and S was right. They helped me. I literally sold everything my first go around and made over $1,000. I was like, holy crap, this is legit. I was feeling really good and accomplished. I reached out to S and told her the great news. She was so happy to hear it and immediately urged me to invest in my business and buy more stock. She said it was so hard to sell Mary Kay without stock on hand. I thought that was strange because I sold a lot of stuff to my friends and family that wasn't included in my starter pack. I was selling higher end skincare and hand care. I sold makeup I didn't have on hand. Most of the foundations didn't even match my friend's skin tone, so I sold different shades via the Mary Kay website. I didn't feel good about investing that money. I needed that money, and I told her that multiple times. I wish I had never even told her how much I made. Me investing back into my business was just me buying more stock from her and helping her rank up. I didn't see it at the time though, and eventually said, okay, I remember spending $900 on more stock. Foundation, skincare, lotion, makeup. I had so much stock show up to my house a week later. I was excited to sell. Unfortunately, it never sold. I tried so freaking hard to sell this crap to people I didn't even know. I was so uncomfortable. My friends and family already dropped over $1,000 to help me get started, and they were in no hurry to buy anything else. So that crap sat there in my dining room for months. I asked people online, I texted old friends I hadn't talked to in a while. I struggled to sell anything, but nothing moved. S told me if I want what she had, I needed to create a team. I tried that too. I tried recruiting and nobody took the bait. I felt so gross reaching out to people with the Mary Kay script. It didn't feel right and it didn't feel real. I finally realized after a few months of feeling like a failure that this wasn't for me. I finally realized that S didn't really care about me or my business. She was constantly asking me to repurchase from her even though I wasn't making any money. Oh, I almost forgot about the meetings every week. So on Wednesdays, they had these Mary Kay meetings, right? You show up and there are about 20 reps in a room. You have to pay $5 to $10 to even be there. I didn't have the money the first time, so they told me to just bring it in next time, which I stupidly did. Yes, I went to more than one meeting. I wanted to fit in so badly. The meetings consisted of S sitting in a tall chair facing the audience talking about the opportunity, never talking about the product, saying we have to recruit. S told us every time we saw the color green to think about money. What the? Oh my gosh, that's funny. Every time we saw the color red to stop and give thanks for our lives. It was so freaking weird. S got the entire crowd to say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. No, you did not take my quote and my Bible's quote for no. Cults, no, rude. And yes, I have Philippians 4:13 on my arm, no shame. She said we had to say that over and over and over and over. I felt so freaking uncomfortable, dude. It's not even funny. It is straight up cult stuff. S constantly talked about the upcoming conference we all had to attend. It was going to be a few $1,000s. My husband was like, we don't have that kind of money. And I remember telling him that I had to go or else I couldn't be in the business and I'd fail because that's what S told me. Like I said, she was an excellent salesperson. I literally believed her. Why wouldn't I? I didn't know any better. I finally got out a few months later. I felt so gross, manipulated, and deceived. I am very intuitive and there was always this gnawing feeling in the back of my mind that something just wasn't right. And I finally listened to it. After staring at this inventory for months that wasn't moving from my dining room table, S begged me not to go, but I just blocked her. I felt stupid. She still sends me these weird little greeting cards to my house asking for me to join her again on this journey. I throw them away immediately. They make it so easy for you to feel like this is legit by selling to friends and family first because they are more likely to buy from you and make you feel like you can do this. But after that, it goes nowhere unless you're okay with preying on strangers and making yourself look like a complete fool to make a buck. I wasn't about that life. Some people might be, but I'm just not. I'm so glad I didn't spend money for the conference and got out as soon as I could. I needed a sip of water after that. Okay. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know how to break this down. I don't even know what. I don't. Everything sounds exactly like a cult, like having to go to these meetings weekly, have to yell things like a Bible verse, having to, and the whole inventory thing, I feel like I'm so sad about that. Like that's something I don't like about Mary Kay. I've talked about that before. The fact that they try and convince you to buy all of this inventory and then inventory just sits there. And it was cool that, yeah, you did make $1,000. Hopefully your friends and family liked the products, but in the end, it's like your friends and family just tried to help you once and then you end up in a situation where, yeah, you can't sell the rest of your product. I have like no words for all of this. I can't believe she still sends you greeting cards. Like I am just so happy that you got out of that mess. And something else I do want to point out that you said was that you wanted to fit in, like why you wanted to go to these meetings because you wanted that. And that makes me just feel like you wanted a community, and these MLMs prey upon people who are in states of non-communities. That's why you see a lot of military wives being brought up into it, a lot of at-home moms who don't work a job or anything like that because they usually don't have a community or they don't have a lot of time to go hang out with friends. So you see a lot of people in those situations get brought in because they're searching for a community. So the community itself can be the only thing they need to say yes to the opportunity. Woo! Now we have the Itworks story from the same person. So it says, Itworks. I was not in Itworks, but I had a friend that sold it. She walked around with a lanyard that said, ask me about this crazy rap thing, and wore it literally everywhere. She bugged me constantly to buy something from her or join her team. I had already left Mary Kay and knew more about MLM schemes at this point, and I didn't trust it, but she would not leave me alone. I kept telling her, no, it's too expensive, or no, I'm fine, thanks, and she would not stop. Finally, I said, fine, I'll buy some hair and skin and nails. She said she was so excited. I gave her $40 and let out a huge sigh of relief. She took the cash, but also needed my bank account info. I thought that was weird, but she assured me that it was all part of the shipping process. She caught me while I was at work and too busy to stop and think about what she was saying. Now I thought she wouldn't bug me anymore. The hair, skin, and nails showed up the next week. They smelled really strong and I took them, and they actually worked well for me. I was happy with the results I was getting. Then here it comes. I've heard this type of story before from Itworks, where MLM reps take their account info and sign them up for this monthly thing. Then all of a sudden, $120 comes out of my account unexpectedly. I immediately reached out to my friend and was like, hey, what's going on? And she said, oh, when you buy one, you automatically sign up for 3 bottles and the money comes out of your account. Silly, remember? I told you this. And I was like, no, you did not. I wanted 1 bottle. And she kept saying, no, this is how it works. You can't have your money back, blah, blah, blah. So I freaking bought 3 more bottles. She wouldn't even try to give me my money back. I told her, F it. I'll take the bottles since I apparently have to, but do not take any more money from me. I was pissed. That was so shady of her to do. She also did it to another friend of mine who still to this day does not talk to her. It was until more anti-MLM videos came out about Itworks that a lot of these consultants will sign up for auto shipment without telling you. Unfortunately, a few years too late when I realized this is what happened. I did not talk to my friend for literally 2 years after that. I only saw her as a scammer and con artist and liar. We are cool now. I don't know if she still sells. I hope not. We're cool, but not close. These MLMs love to ruin relationships. You're not allowed to take people's account stuff. And that's why I say don't give your friends your account information. Don't give people who are in these MLMs your actual like account and routing number or debit card number or credit card number, because they are only going to use it for reoccurring charges like that, and you're going to end up spending all of this money. Honestly, I had a friend that went through it. Actually, someone who was in Beachbody when I was in Beachbody signed up for Itworks because she also too just wanted someone to leave her alone, and she had to do a lot with her bank. She had to go through the whole banking fraud thing and get her money back that way, and it was because she gave her information to somebody. And that's why time after time we see people in MLMs say, keep going at it, keep asking people. It takes 4 to 12 times for someone to hear something before they go and do it. So these MLM reps are trained, programmed, and taught to literally keep asking month after month, week after week, because they believe that's like the secret sauce. Let me know if you've heard that before, if you've been in an MLM, but they say that that's the secret sauce, is just constantly asking. And it's not. People get annoyed and then they spend money. A lot of people though don't. A lot of people are like, I don't care. Like if someone annoys me, I block them, I ignore them. But a lot of people in life are too nice, and I am one included, that I feel if someone would have came to me like this, like a friend, I would have felt bad and I would have bought it. Luckily, I've never had one that has done that, because I am someone who would feel bad and just like buy a product. But I feel really bad for people who this happens to with Itworks, because it's a common thing. Also, if this ever happens to you, do one of 2 things, or 2 of 2 things. Report it to Itworks itself, then take all of that information and report it to the FTC, because they need to get caught for this. They need to get reprimanded for things like this, and the FTC needs to do their job and actually tell the MLM, send them warning letters, tell them they can't do these things. But let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Comment down below what your thoughts were. Today was a longer MLM horror stories. I know the past couple of weeks haven't been as long. They've been 20 to 30 minute videos for these, so I wanted to do one that was a little bit longer, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Friday are videos that I do on MLMs, on scams, and things of that sort, where I educate and inform people. And then Wednesdays are my lifestyle content, like vlogs, Starbucks videos, gluten-free videos, like just a bunch of fun stuff on Wednesdays that lets us take a load off from, you know, the information we talk about on Mondays and Fridays that can be very hard to talk about. So I'll see you guys in the next one.